Potential and kinetic energy. What is energy? Energy is the capacity to do work. Assume you are not well, you have fever. Will you be able to work? No, because you don't have energy. But if you are eating well, you are not having any fever or any kind of problem, then you have all the capacity to do work. So that means you have energy. The unit of energy is joule, and this is on the name of a very famous person, and this is the SI unit, joule and kg meter square per second square. This is the SI unit of energy. Now energy can have various forms. The two forms are potential energy and kinetic energy. When you have potential energy, when you have kinetic energy, the energy which is on the basis of or on the virtue of position and state, that is called stored energy or potential energy. For example, if you have a table and a box is placed here, this box is not moving but it is at some height from the ground. So this box is having some energy. It is not moving, no motion, but still it has energy, and that energy, because of the position or state, is known as the potential energy. Potential means it will do something because it has energy. For example, if you have a hammer and you raise it, so if you have a hammer, you raise it here, then it will have some energy because it is at some height from the ground. But now if you take this hammer here, it will have more energy, potential energy, because it is now higher from the ground. Fuel and explosive, they have chemical potential energy. Then we have coil springs, they have the elastic potential energy. What about the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is the energy by the virtue of motion. Take this example again. You have a box here on the table. Now just let this ball fall. As soon as this ball falls from here, this box will have kinetic energy because it is moving now. So whenever certain thing is stationary, it has potential energy. Whenever things start moving, it has kinetic energy. Since this car is moving, it has kinetic energy. Now this is a special type of energy which is called the elastic potential energy. That is, we'll discuss about this just now. Now see here, at this point and this point, just watch very carefully. At this point and this point, this potential energy marker or the bar will increase. And at this point and this point, the kinetic energy will increase. Because here it is momentary static, or it is at some position. That is why it has potential energy. But when it gains momentum or it gains the velocity, it comes down with the speed. Now it gains the kinetic energy. So the potential energy and kinetic energy, they are interchangeable, because we know energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed to one form to another. So I'll show you once again. Here, this man and this vehicle has kinetic energy. See the font of kinetic energy increasing. Why? Or kinetic energy increasing? Because here kinetic energy is 0. But as soon as the vehicle starts, the kinetic energy increases. Same here. These skydivers have potential energy because they are at height. After they jump, this potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy and heat as they speed up down. Gravitational potential energy. So potential energy, because this is by the virtue of height. So when we talk about gravitational potential energy, there is a formula. Potential energy due to gravity is m into g into h. M is for the mass, g is for the gravity, h is for the height. And I'll take an example. First, let me tell you, G is sometime, this G is fixed for Earth. That is the gravitational field strength. This is fixed, the 9.8 meter per second square. Basically, it's an acceleration due to gravity. And most of the time we take G as 10 just to make our computation easier. So h is the height, m is the mass, and g is the gravity. So this 2 kg hammer is 0.4 meter up. What is the potential energy? As I said, m into g into h. Mass is 2, we'll put 2 here. Gravity, let us take one of these, and height is 0.4. So 2 into, let us take 9.8. So this 2 kg into 9.8 meter per second square and 0.4 meter, it will be 7.84 joule, or you can keep it like this also, SI unit. Coming to kinetic energy. This kinetic energy is because of the virtue of motion. So the formula is half mv square, half into mass into velocity square. So we have, what is the kinetic energy of this 1500 kg car? So this is 1500, half is half, going at a suburban speed of 14 meter per second, 14 meter per second. So we have this 14 meter per second square. What will be the result? 147 kg. Now let me increase the speed. I am just doubling the speed. If I double the speed, it is 28 meter per second. Just see, it was 147 joule. It was 147 joule. How this energy increases? Now half mv square we are applying again, half into mass. Now velocity is double. Previously it was 14, now it is 28. Now as soon as we increase the speed only double, the energy, kinetic energy increases fourfold. So doubling the speed, the kinetic energy increases 4 times. 4 times. So if you're driving, drive safely, because when you're moving, you have immense energy that cause the accident. That is the main cause of death. We'll take one more example. 1 kg meteorite strikes the moon at 11 km per second. How much kinetic energy is that? So we have half into m into v square, mass is 1 kg. Now here we have to see that this is 11 km per second. It's not a SI unit. So we convert it into meter. So multiply by 1000 by second. So it will be 11,000 meter per second. Now it is SI unit. So half into 1 kg into 11,000 meter per second. It's 60.5 this megajoule. 3 zeros for kilo, 6 zeros for the mega. Now how does this potential energy convert into the kinetic energy? First let me tell you how we can have a relationship between a kinetic energy and potential energy. Whenever something is there, like this apple, it's static. So it has potential energy, which is mgh. Now when it is coming down, so it has kinetic energy, which is half mv square. And these two are equal. So half, because this energy is same as what energy it has when it reaches the floor. So half mgh, half mv square equals mgh. And if you see, mm gets cancelled. So this g square, if you are expecting that, let us find out the velocity. So what will be velocity? V square is, I am taking 2 here, 2gh. Velocity will be under root 2gh. And if you see, the velocity is independent of the mass. There is no mass here. This is very important. The velocity, whenever a body is moving, the mass has no position here. Only the velocity is dependent on the gravity and the height. Okay, when it is coming from the height, it is dropped down from the height. So we drop of 0.1 kg apple 1 meter. What is the speed? What speed does it hit the ground? So what is the energy it has here? Mgh, because it is static. So mgh 0.1 9.81, which is 0.98. So it is having energy here. Now we just ignore the resistance of air, and we say that it is now coming down. What is the speed here when it touches the ground? Now this potential energy will be all converted to kinetic energy. So this potential energy and kinetic energy can be equated. So half mv square is equal to half mv square, v is under root k 2 into ke by m, which I just told you. This one. So 2 into ke, v is 2 into ke by m, but I'll just tell you that it is independent of mass. Just compute this 2 into this kinetic energy. This is potential energy, which is actually the kinetic energy. Put it here, and 0.1 kg is the mass. So velocity is 4.427. Now I'll show you that this was the equation, and then we found out the value. But as I said, velocity can be directly found out by saying that a body is static here, it is falling down. So at this point, this energy will be totally converted. So this velocity can be computed by under root 2 gh. So now let us use 2 into g into h. G we are using 9.8. What is the height? 1 meter. And if you see here, this is also 4.427. This is also 4.427. So I was just suggesting that the velocity, when this scenario is happening, it is independent of the mass, right? So either you compute like this or compute like this. The main idea is it is independent of the mass. Elastic potential energy. Whenever we have something, say string static. Now if you stretch it, it will stretch like this. So it has stretched, say some distance x. So you have applied some force. So there is some energy which is inside, which has been created inside this string. For example, if you have the bullet, so there is a spring. When you just have a bullet and press here, what will happen? The compressed spring, this is a compressed spring. Now it has energy, and this compressed spring will send this bullet, because this has energy, because it is being compressed. So anything which is compressed or elongated, it has energy. That is called elastic potential energy. So we have a formula, the F, this F. What is this F? The force. A force is required because you have applied a force here. So a force which is applied on a spring to compress it or to stretch it, it is directly proportional to the amount of stretch it has done. That is, the force required to compress a string, the more compression is there, the more force is required to compress. So amount of force is directly proportional to the amount of stretch or compression, which is x here. The constant of proportionality is known as the spring constant. So I can write this proportionality as k. So F equal to k x. So this is the formula we are going to use. Here is an example. See, this is being stretched, a bow and an arrow. Now if this bow has this much stretch, it has less energy. But if it is stretched like this, or even this without breaking this, so it will have more energy. So this x, this x1 and this x2 will have more F. You have to apply more force and it will have more energy, less elastic potential energy. Same is the case here. When you have, see, everything is in equilibrium. If you are having this kind of object, say you have a spring which is naturally standing like this, right? That is a spring, and now it is in equilibrium position. There is no force being applied. It is zero potential energy. Now when you stretch it, you are applying force. So now there is a potential energy, and there is a special equation for springs that relates to the amount of elastic potential energy to the amount of stretch or a compression, which is this one, x, to the spring. And the equation is, this is the potential energy of the spring. It is equal to half k into x square. This k is the spring constant and this x is the stretch, and x is the amount of compression or the stretching you have done. Let us take some example. A box has a mass of 5.8 kg. So there is a box of 5.8 kg mass. The box is lifted from the garage floor and placed on the shelf. So say this is the shelf and this is placed here. If the box gain 145 joules, so the energy gain is 145 joule. This is the potential energy. how high is the shelf. So this potential energy is mgh. The mass is 5.8, so we'll use this as 5.8. The gravity will use as say 10, and the height is h. So h will be 145 divided by 5.8 into 10, which is here, which is 2.5. So this shelf is 2.5 meter above the ground. A man climbs onto a wall that is 3.6 meter high and gains 2268 joule of potential energy. So potential energy is what? mgh, and which is given as 2268. So 2268. Mass we don't know, height we know, gravity also we know. So gravity, let us take it as 10, and the height is 3.6. So what will be the mass? 2268 by 10 and 3.6, which is going to be 63 kg. A 800 gram ball is pulled up a slope as shown here. Calculate the potential energy it gains. Always remember the potential energy in this, we always take this height, vertical height, only vertical height. So we are not interested in this distance, we are only interested in this height, right? So now mgh, potential energy. What is mass? 800 gram. So 800 gram, convert it into kg. So it will be 0.8. Gravity we can take it as say 10. And what is the height? As I said, we will not take this one, we will take this one. In potential energy, we are only interested in the vertical distances. So we will take 20 centimeter. Again, convert it into meter. 20 by 100 is 0.2. So potential energy is 0.8 into 10 into 0.2, which is 1.6 joule. A cart is loaded with a brick and pulled at a constant speed along an inclined plane to the height of a seat top here. If the mass of the loaded cart is 3 kg, so mass is given, which is 3 kg, and the height of the seat top, so height from here to here 0.45, from here to here. Then what is the potential energy of the loaded cart at the height of the seat top? As we just saw in the previous question, potential energy only talks about the vertical height. This is the height. Mass is mgh. Mass is 3. Height is 0.45. And let us take gravity as 9.8 here. 9.8 meter per second. So see 13.2 joule. The main thing of this question and this question is that we are interested in potential energy. We are only interested in the vertical height, not any other height. Now remember this figure again. We are going to take one more question on this. So if the force, so here we have, if this force is applied, which is 14.7 Newton. So if the force is applied, you drag this loaded cart along the incline for a distance of 0.9. So it goes from here to here and the distance here is 0.9. From here to here. Then how much work is done on the loaded cart? So now how much work is done? Work is done. So what we'll do, work is nothing but force into displacement. But here, you know, this is the force direction. This is the displacement direction. It is F into D, and when it is at incline, since this is theta, this is the cos component and this is the sine component. So we always take this component. So FD cos theta it will be. But as I said, what is the angle between force and displacement? 0 degree. There is no angle. They are on the same line. So F is 14.7. D is this displacement 0.9, and cos 0 is 1. So it will be 13.2 joule. A compressed spring has the potential energy of 20 joule and its spring constant is 200 Newton per meter. Calculate the displacement of the spring. So here is a spring. Okay. Now compressed spring. Now this is compressed. This has the potential energy. Potential energy is 20 joule. Spring constant K is 200 Newton per meter. Calculate the displacement of the spring. We know that the potential energy formula for the spring is half kx square, and this is given as 20 joule. So half into k is 200 into x square equal to 20. So x square will be 20 into 2 by 200. X will be under root of, this is 20, 10, and this is 2, 5, 1 by 5. And this is going to be 0.632 meter. A vertical spring is loaded or linked to a load of mass 5 kg, which is compressed by 10 meter. This determine the force constant of the spring. So here we have a string like this. This is a vertical spring and linked to a mass of 5 kg. Now this is compressed. This compression distance is 10 meter. Determine the force constant. So when we compress it, this gravity is also acting. So the force for the gravity, that is m into g, is what mass is 5 kg, m into g. Gravity, we can use it as 9.8. So force is 9.8. This is the force formula. Now this force is equal to what? Which is the force is directly proportional to the amount of stretch and compression. So this F is equal to K into X, which is eventually equal to this force, which is working out here, which is M5 into 9.8. And what is force constant K? K will be equal to 5 into 9.8, and this X is 10. So we are putting 10 here. This is going to be 49 by 10, 4.9 Newton per meter. So this is all about the energy, potential energy, kinetic energy and elastic potential energy. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.